Yo, what's up, guys? How are you doing today? I'm coming to you guys with my top 5 breakout players for the 2023-2024 NBA season. We are now about 76 days recording this video, August 8th, 2023. Actually, day before my 21st birthday. Gotta get lit tomorrow, but that's besides the point. Coming to you guys with my breakout players for the next upcoming NBA season. I also have a couple honorable mentions as well that quite didn't make the list, but were really on that kind of chopping block in order to get to the video. It is Derek White. I think he'll definitely break out this year. No Marcus Smart, obviously traded to the Grizzlies. Evan Mobley, depending on the front court of him, Jared Allen. If it continues or Jared Allen gets moved or something like that, I see Mobley taking the next leap. Franz Wagner, again, I do see him take another leap like he's made both years of his career in the NBA with the Orlando Magic. But they did not make my list because I think these other 5 guys will make an even potential bigger jump or just a broader jump, let's say. Okay, but other than that, let's get straight into the video. All right, so coming in at number 5, I have Jalen Green of the Houston Rockets. Jalen Green is a guy that people either hate or love, and I'm right around the middle of Jalen Green just because of his efficiency, but I feel like this year he will definitely take that next leap. Last season, in 76 games on one of the worst teams of basketball last season, Jalen Green averaged 22.1 points per game, 3.7 assists, 3.7 rebounds, and shot 41.7% from the field. He was the 113th most efficient player in the NBA, the former number 2 overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft, only 21 years old, drafted out of the G League Ignite. I think he will definitely have a really good season, especially with the addition of a guy like a Fred VanVleet. Will open up the game for him, kind of be that kind of floor general, just a really good playmaker in this league. Do not forget, last year Fred VanVleet and the Toronto Raptors had a 20-20 game, but 20 plus points and 20 plus assists, so he definitely is a lead playmaker in this league. Shout out to Kevin Porter Jr., but he really is a shooting guard that will transition into being a point guard, kind of like Marcus Smart for the Boston Celtics now of the Memphis Grizzlies. With Jalen Green now having Fred VanVleet, that definitely will take a lot of the toll on the offensive side of the basketball off of his hands. We know how good Fred VanVleet also is defensively as well. Hopefully Jalen Green can also buy into that defense as well with guys like him and Dylan Brooks as well, Tyree Eason, and hopefully rub that out on other guys on the team as well, like Alperen Şengün and Jabari Smith Jr. But that is beside the point. Last season, Jalen Green shot only 33.8% from the field, 78.6% from the free throw line. But like I said, this year with the addition of Fred VanVleet, I see him opening up the gates for him, and Jalen Green will not on every given night be guarded by the best defender of the team, because now they have guys like Fred VanVleet, who is a threat in this league, a former all-star in this league. So that definitely opens up the game for him. Do like the addition of Fred VanVleet for this team, giving them less of an AAU type of team and instead a real stabilized team with Ime Udoka as well, who I definitely think will brush off pretty well on Jalen Green. On the court, team and Fred VanVleet is going to be a very underrated, let's say, duo in this league. Definitely going to be nice in transition. Just get the ball, hit Jalen Green, and just let him cook. He's super athletic, freakishly athletic. Want to continue to see him working that 3-point shot overall, and I think he will be a really good player in this league, which is why I have him at number 5 on this list. All right, so coming in at number 4, I have one of the most underrated players in all of basketball. That is Devin Vassell of the San Antonio Spurs. I'm telling you guys right now, buy stock in Devin Vassell right now. Last season, he missed so many games, only played in 38 games, but in those 38 games, he was definitely doing his thing as he averaged 18.5 points per game, 3.9 rebounds, 3.6 assists, shot 43.9% of the field. Also, one of these guys that definitely need to get better in terms of efficiency. But now with Victor Wembanyama on the team, he won't be the number 1 guy, let's say, that teams will go ahead and scheme against, even though I do believe respectfully he's better than Keldon Johnson. He'll still be their second best player this season, especially after all the Victor Wembanyama talks and hype and all that. He has the best player on the team, you would think, correct? Yeah, so he was the second best player in the team in my opinion this upcoming season for the San Antonio Spurs. He really is a 3-level scorer in this league. He's just super fun to watch. He really is just a tough shot maker in this league. Really fun to watch and get to the rim. Low-key athletic, really good in the mid-range, really good from 3, and he also is a really good free throw shooter as well, as he shot, like I said, 43.9% from the field, 38.7% from 3 last year, which is damn near elite on 7 attempts per game. He also shot 78% from the free throw line as well, so he just is a really good 3-level scorer overall, and I think he will at least average, let's say, over 20 points per game, maybe even 22 points per game. With teams now honing on Victor Wembanyama, that will definitely open up shots for him and Keldon Johnson as well. But I do think, like I said, he's the better player than Keldon Johnson, so I do think he will get more of those opportunities and he will be absolutely flourishing, and he really is going to take that next leap for the San Antonio Spurs and will at least be, in my opinion, in most improved player talks potentially. Like I said, some of these guys will be most improved player talks. Some of these guys will be all-star talks. I think Devin Williams probably can be most improved player talks just because he missed so much time last year. People really didn't hone into how good of a season he really would be having if he actually could stay on the court and actually was healthy. But this year, I think he would definitely play more games, and people will definitely hone into the fact that, damn, Devin Vassell was a walking bucket and is severely underrated. All right, so coming in at number 3, I have Shayden Sharp of the Portland Trail Blazers. So much talk about Dame and where's he gonna go? Is he coming to my Heat? Is he staying? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? Not enough talk about Shayden Sharp. Shayden Sharp had a really underrated season last year for the Portland Trail Blazers, even though he really didn't play too much in the first half, especially when Dame went out. He really had a team to himself, and he was absolutely hooping his ass off. Last season, he averaged 9.9 points per game, 3 rebounds, 1.2 assists, and shot 47.2% from the field. As we know, his best trait is definitely his athleticism. He is freakishly athletic. Probably would have won the dunk contest if he didn't end up opting out. But he is a really, really good young player in this league. Only 20 years old, with the 7th overall pick out of Kentucky. Didn't even play a single game with them because he had an injury. So I really didn't know what to expect coming out of him after he drafted with the number 7 overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft. And man, was I pleasantly surprised and pleasantly shocked by how good of a player Shayden Sharp is. And this is why he was drafted so early without even playing in college, because he is really another one of these street level scorers. Is really good from 3, really good in the mid range, and as we know, at the cup, at the rim, he is an absolute just freak of nature when it comes to attacking the rim. He can get up there with the best of them in the league. He's ferocious. He got insane bounce, and I think it's really good this year. I really don't know what they're gonna do with their lineup. Obviously the Dame trade is really inevitable at this point, and I really think he should be starting for the team. And he is 6'5", so he can really play that 3. But that defense of Scoot, I want to see how Scoot's defense translates into the NBA. Everybody times you know isn't really a household name for a defender. He's really just an all-around offensive wizard, in my opinion. Shayden Sharp as well. He's not really known for his defense, so I really want to see how that 1 through 3 works. Of Scoot at the 1, Simon to the 2, and 3 being Shayden Sharp. I mean, I want to see that just for the pure hoops. But I really think Shayden Sharp is going to really just break out this year and show why he was drafted so early, and show the stretch that we saw last season, just being a really good 3-level scorer in this league, who shot 36% from 3 last year on 3.5 attempts per game, and just was a really good player overall for this Portland Trail Blazers team, and really one of the catalysts for this upcoming rebuild for this Blazers team. I think will definitely be one of the guys that start that off. It's a really fun player to watch. Just really good overall, and cannot wait to see him become even better in this league, because that stretch last season towards the end, he had his own team and he was absolutely cooking. Multiple 20-point games, 30-point games, just playing sporadically throughout the season. And when he got his chance, he absolutely took off and showed why he is a really good young player in this league. And I cannot wait to watch Shayden Sharp break out this year for the Portland Trail Blazers. All right, so coming in at number 2, I have also one of my favorite young players in this league, and that is Tyrese Maxie of the Philadelphia 76ers. Such a good player in this league. Apparently, he's untouchable according to Sixers rumors, and apparently, if there was even Prime MJ, he was off the table. I don't know about all that. Love Tyrese Maxey. I don't know about all that. I've been saying for a while now that he's the best player out of the bunch of even Tyler Hero, of RJ Barrett, of Jordan Poole, guys like that as well. Guys like that, and Devin Vassell should be in that kind of tier as well. Just adding my 2 cents in right there with that. Last season, he averaged 20.3 points per game, 2.9 rebounds, 3.5 assists, shot 48.1% from the field, on 43.4% from 3 as well, on 6.2 attempts per game in 60 games as a starting shooting guard, and really as the number 3 option for the Sixers team, who probably will be the second option now behind Joel Embiid, with the inevitable trade of James Harden to the LA Clippers. He is a really good player in this league. He really is lightning in a bottle, can really score in bunches. Is a really good player, another 3-level scorer in this league. He can really go coast to coast in like 0.2 seconds. He can go coast to coast like Lightning McQueen, Sonic the Hedgehog, Flash. He really just gets to the cup so effortlessly. He has stepped up in the playoffs as well, which I really like to see out of him. So it definitely shows that he is he doesn't crumble during the big stage. He doesn't crumble during the big moments. For whatever reason, I feel like every single time I see him go up against the Toronto Raptors, he absolutely hoops his ass. I'm like, it's absolutely insane. Like, he just sees them in terms of the prime, like Kyrie Irving or something like that. Like, he just cooks. Like, he scores in bunches. Really good player in this league. I definitely want to see him in terms of his playmaking improve, just because of the, like I said, inevitable trade of James Harden. Probably be the lead guard, probably the starting point guard, and his counterpart will either be DeAnthony Melton or a Norman Powell, depending on the Clippers and Sixers trade. And I really want to see all of that go down, because I really think Tyrese Maxie will be maybe a 23-24 point per game scorer next season at the very minimum, maybe even 25, just with that much more added shots. He's really efficient, and he really is a really good player in this league, and I really cannot wait to see him be potentially the number 2 option on the Sixers team. That would be very fun to watch. All right, so coming in number 1, I have Jordan Poole of the Washington Wizards, formerly of obviously the Golden State Warriors, and this is a guy that averaged 17 points per game on damn near 50, 40, 90 in the 2022 NBA playoffs, and he took a massive step back in his latest playoffs with the Golden State Warriors. Lots of that really comes down to happening obviously with Draymond Green punching Jordan Poole, and the whole saga going down. Just things were not working out for the Golden State Warriors, especially with Jordan Poole, and down the stretch for the playoffs, they literally had to damn near bench him. They really just could not play him. He was damn near unplayable. Just did not look like the old Jordan Poole that we've seen in the past. He's a pretty, at points, inconsistent guy. When he's on, he is absolutely phenomenal. When he's off, he's piss poor just because of how bad his defense is. But I definitely think he'll be a lot better with the Washington Wizards. Obviously, a lot less pressure. No more being on one of the greatest franchises of recent memory, the Golden State Warriors, the dynasty, and all that. He is now one of the worst teams in basketball, with Kyle Kuzma being his second option. Not much pressure at all. Probably looking for a lottery pick this year. Last season, he averaged 20.4 points per game, 2.7 rebounds, 4.5 assists, shot 43% from the field, 33.6% from the three-point line. Just was not efficient whatsoever. But like I said, he did score in bunches. He did have a lot of good, but a lot of bad as well, which kind of evened out. Shot 87% from the free throw line, especially after having such a good 2022 playoffs, where he had this full quarter, half court shot against Boston to end up the third quarter. They had the momentum in the finals, and they ended up winning that game and winning the finals, and he won up finals, and he was on top of the world doing his thing. He's only 24 years old. And I think a lot more good basketball will be had this year by Jordan Poole. Definitely might be most improved player this year. I think he'll have a really good season, average no less than 25 points per game. He's really either 1A, 1B with Kyle Kuzma being a number 1 or number 1A, 1B option with Kyle Kuzma. I really think he will put up at least like 20, maybe even 25 shots a game. I mean, him, Tyus Jones, Actually, I like that trio. I'll be honest. I don't see them make them playoffs, but that trio definitely has some quality, good NBA players in this league, and pretty decently fun to watch. They also have Bilal Coulibaly as well. So hey, definitely, I don't think they'll be the worst team in the league. It's probably definitely worse, but in terms of Jordan Poole, he is going to absolutely cook. He's going to absolutely sauce up, and I cannot wait to watch him like Kyle Kuzma on this Wizards team. Poole, as we know, is a really good three-point shooter. Did struggle with efficiency last year, but I'm attest that too happened in the offseason. Pretty good in the mid-range, can get erratic, especially offensively. Defensively, as you know, he's a liability. Hopefully he continues to improve in terms of that, because yeah, watching him last year on the defensive side of the basketball was definitely not a treat whatsoever, but I definitely think he'll break out this season and probably be most improved player if I were to guess right now. I didn't know less, like I said, 25 points per game. Hopefully he's a lot more efficient, but he gets shots up regardless, and I really just think he's a really good player in this league, and definitely will show that he probably should not be traded for Chris Paul, who's on the last legs really of his career, last year of his potential year in the NBA, for being completely honest. And the fact that the trade value was Chris Paul's almost 40 years old and was probably about to get waived by the Wizards from the Beal trade, that is pretty interesting. Hopefully he uses that as motivation and continues to become a better player this season. Other than that, yo, that is the episode. Go down below, drop a like, comment down below if you guys agree with my list or not. You guys have your own list. Comment that all down below. That's your boy John. Hope you got your new video. Make sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. And I'm out, man. Peace.